Good morning. August. Where did May, June, July go? Anyway, this morning is the first time out on my Norton Commando since returning back from Germany. I'm out to set the camera angle of my GoPro definitively on this RI helmet. When I was riding in Germany, a few of you may have noticed that throughout the day when I was changing the batteries, I got an alternating angle on the camera, and I don't like the magic carpet syndrome that you see a lot of YouTubers use, which is basically I like to see the handlebars and the headlamp shell. So the pitch of the GoPro, it's quite sensitive to the pitch angle. Now, slightly technical for those people that are interested in the camera setup that I use. I don't use a standard GoPro lens when I'm out filming. I use what's called the Mod 2.0 lenses. Not a lot of people realise, or certainly I don't see them, that GoPro take interchangeable lenses, and this 2.0 lens I film on wide with minimal distortion left and right of screen. So yeah, I'm out testing. What I like to do, for those people that are interested in this, because it's more about setting up the camera than it is the Norton this morning, is that I like to use the full frame of the GoPro. It's very easy to shoot wider than you need and then actually zoom in. Until recently I used Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud, but their subscription model for a small YouTuber like myself was just making it completely I was almost paying Adobe what I was earning very early days on my YouTube channel. That's changed now, but I've been an Adobe person for probably more than 20 years, so its workflow was very intuitive to me, probably because I'd been using it for so long. And then I became aware in the background on the forums around Final Cut Pro, and it being something that that Apple had rested for a number of years, and then started to invest big money into AI with things like magnetic masks and weaponizing artificial intelligence to do an awful lot of the effects and editing. So I spent some time last winter sort of doing a knowledge transfer between where I'd expect certain tools in the Adobe suite to reside on the Apple suite, and yeah, it took a while, but the Adobe Final Cut Pro is now a significantly mature product with a number of third-party plugins that I use to achieve what to some may seem like easy editing. I know my friend Kev teases my mate Pete that you can edit in 10 minutes. You can't. Anybody who edits on a serious level knows that by the time you've looked at the raw, you've sort of made a rough cut, you've tidied it up, you've started to lay down your audio tracks, balances, and perhaps some background music with titles and then transitions between the fades. You're looking at, I reckon, for when you change camera during the sequence, more than an hour a minute. So when you get a 4-minute video, unless you're holding the scene constantly, which I may do on this video, because after all it's just in camera jibber jabber talking about what I do. But yeah, so getting back to the filming element of this ride, I've got a GoPro 12 Black underslung on a 3D printed mount on my helmet, and I'm very willing to share the STL file for this chin mount. And I'm wearing a RI Podium Series helmet, a very expensive helmet by any standards, and I ordered a mount for it, and it from chinmounts.com, and it simply didn't fit. didn't fit safe enough and well enough. But I'd created a series of STL files in Autodesk Fusion 360 to try to work out the radius of the curve so that the printed GoPro mount would fit this helmet, because it doesn't just have vertical curve, it has a horizontal curve, and if you're riding at pace you need that helmet holding that, well, what must amount to 1,000 UK pounds with the media mod, the extra lens and the memory card onto your helmet safely. So anyway, I used an RI Debut, not the Debut 5, I used the race helmet. So that's holding that on, and then that uses a 3.5 microphone male to female lead into the helmet. Look at this road, this is wonderful. Got to be careful it doesn't run away with you though. Oh, got my indicator going. Why didn't somebody tell me? No wonder everybody was looking at me odd. Well, odder than normal. So yeah, and inside my helmet I've got a microphone, and it's fixed with Gorilla Tape. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull over and I'm going to take a look in GoPro Quick, which is the software that allows my Apple iPhone Pro Max to connect to the GoPro and make any adjustments I need on my helmet, and we'll take a look at that adjustment. And I won't edit the adjustment. What I'll do, I'll absolutely show any adjustment that I make. Here we go. I've got a fast moving car behind me, maybe an Aston Martin like my brother's, maybe not, maybe it was an Aston Martin. Here we go. That Aston Martin sounds good. I remember going on my brother Jason's under the underground tunnels on the ring road in Leeds, and hearing the rip and the roar, and anybody who enjoys loud pipes on motorcycle would certainly like an Aston Martin on rip going through the tunnels. But yeah, right, let's have a look at this camera remotely on my iPhone, and then I'll make adjustments to the position of the camera up or down, and we'll see where we are. So as promised, I've not edited this video to blend. I'm going to show you the difference between prior to pulling up and just setting off. That's the local refuge, recycling centre, call it what you want. So what I did do, I looked on GoPro Quick remotely, as you saw there on the iPhone, and I've nudged the camera up because I don't think there's any valid imagery in the Norton petrol tank, and I'm hoping that now that it's sorted, that, crikey, shorts and a t-shirt with an indicator going, can't criticise that, I did that, didn't I? So now I've got a nice straight road to assess the angle of my GoPro. What I'm looking for is the bottom of the frame to be the bottom of the handlebars, so that you get maximum cloudscape, and that's really not really for roads like that. That's for when I come into villages, so that you can actually see when I turn my head left or I turn my head right, the actual village shops and scenery that I'm seeing. So what I'm doing here is just having a look at the camera angle. I'm going to pull in and check it again. Ride for miles, crikey. Trust me, to pull in the only lay-by full of bloody. I had to get out of that lay-by to adjust this camera because there was, well, I don't know, I think every dog owner, every irresponsible dog owner had been in that lay-by and pulled over on the road and let their dog do their business. So when I reviewed it, it was a lot better, as you can see on the bottom of the lens, but I just felt when I was going around the bend, maybe the camera's a little bit high, so I've compromised between the two settings. And what I'll do, I'll pull over in a bit and I will mark with a scribe the line between on the GoPro mount, and I've also got a set of digital vernier calipers, and I'll mark the angle as well so that I can rinse and repeat this. It's absolutely, I'm sure, infuriating for people that ride with me when I change the GoPro battery. I have to realign all of this again. But I've got a nice straight road to assess this.